What it do, folks? What it do? Team No Sleep, September 6th, 2022. Uh, I'm in Northern California, man, and it's about 200 degrees. I'm not sure what you got going on, Montel, but talk to me about it, brother. I'm burning
I'm,
up out
I'm,
here.
I'm traveling in the Midwest, so we ain't burning up like you guys are on the
Mm,
West Coast. But you can
okay.
see that I'm looking to part for Team No Sleep with these bags under my eyes.
Yeah,
So,
you've been
you
awake
know,
for a while, huh? You
yeah,
using
yeah,
all
man.
24 hours, brother.
Yeah, I'm doing my thing, but it don't knock the hustle though. I'm still here representing, so we good. Little sleep
Always.
ain't never stopped nobody.
That's true. That's true. All right, we see senior in the building, so we can officially start. Good to have you, sir, on the live. Tell everybody in the neighborhood. Come on, because we going today's gonna be a good show. You
Yes,
know, we've got 90% positive stories to go through today, as opposed to a lot of the negativity that we've been going through other weeks. So let's go ahead and just jump into that. The sport of the day is tennis. So let's shout out and talk a little tennis. Let's talk about the GOAT first of all. Let's go ahead and talk about Serena, right? Because I think she hadn't played her last match before we had our last show, right? She still had a couple of matches to
yeah,
go, and listen, she gave it a valiant effort. She was out there doing what she was doing. She was still out there screaming. She was still out there hitting 117-mile-an-hour serves, but she was up against number two in the world. And listen, Serena 40 some years old, and she hasn't been training and getting ready all year. She's been doing other things. She's been taking care of family and all of that. But yet still she came in and dominated, made it to the third semifinal. She made it to the third round. That's it. Made it to the
yeah.
third round.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, her US Open 2022 was done, and we may have seen the last time Serena and Venus pick up a tennis racket in competition and in competition together because they played a doubles match. Talk to me,
Yeah.
man, what you think about the closing of this chapter. Someone like a Serena Williams going out the way that she did go out. She tried to win, but she just came up a little short.
I think it spoke volumes with the star power that was there watching her play her
Yeah,
last game, her last
yeah,
sets. I mean, all the people that were there supporting her. And I think, even Tiger Woods was there,
yeah.
showing his support for her. And the fact that she's given us so much, man, so much inspiration as a black woman being successful in the sport,
Mm-hmm.
being an entrepreneur, being a businesswoman. I mean, she set, that word idol or role model.
Mm.
She's a pedophile. She's done that. She is that. She's been that. I mean, in the fact she's done it in her kind of on her own terms. The way she's going about doing her business, wearing cat suits and and, and,
Out
and
there
and
with the
making a
Puma
fashion
suits on.
statement in
Yeah,
tennis.
yeah. She did
Yeah,
her
yeah,
thing.
and just and doing things her way and her brand in Nike. Shout out to Felicia Mayo, and I know she was one of the people that was one of the young GMs that helped, or one of the advocates that helped start her brand. But I mean, man, what can we say about Serena that hasn't already been said about that she's the greatest of all time playing tennis? She's probably the most influential tennis player of all time.
True.
I don't think people say that enough. She's probably the most influential, and I think she's going to have a long lasting effect on the sport because of the things she's been able to do on and off the court. Um, she's just, man, she's the best, bro. I mean, she's mentioned in, like when we say the Tom Brady's and the Michael
Yeah,
Jordans.
yeah.
Serena Williams is the GOAT of tennis. And I
Listen.
think that goes with men and women.
Oh,
She's the
definitely.
GOAT of
Listen, you
tennis.
you you heard McEnroe talking while he was commentating, saying, "Listen, there is no one better. There is no one
Yeah.
who." You kind of compare her to an athlete build perspective, right? You think someone like a LeBron James, right? Serena is
Hmm.
just, again, 117-mile-an-hour serves. She's out there doing her thing. She's still perfecting the shots, the drop shots, the backhands, all of that. I'm talking like I know tennis. Come on now.
Yeah.
But there is no one who is more dominant out there on that clay, on that dirt, on that grass, whatever the case may be. And I agree with you when you say she's more influential probably than anyone else, just because of the time that she was around, like having
Yes.
social media, having the internet, being able to be more than just an athlete, more than
Yep.
just go out and dribble kind of thing, right? Being able to have platforms to actually speak about social justice and social injustice, things of that nature. So, um, She left the door open though. Right when she was giving her farewell speech, when they were acknowledging her after the match, she said, "There's a possibility, but that's just the competitive nature I think in her." I
Yeah.
I don't personally. I don't think she's coming back. I think she has done all that she needs to do. She's got all the plaques. She's got all the trophies and all the accolades. There's nothing left to prove for her to get back out there
I
on the
don't think
court.
there's anything left to prove on the tennis court,
Hmm.
but I think she feels she has a lot to accomplish in the business world.
Okay. Yeah.
I really do. I think that competitive side of her is going to shift to the business aspect of things. And like, she's been a minority owner of a team, and I think she might still be of the Miami Dolphins. Her and her sister. I think she wants to be, her brand in Nike. I think she's going to be striving that to be the number one tennis brand for women's tennis. I think she's really going to put a forth effort to do that. I think she's ready to take that competitive edge to the business world, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
She doesn't have anything else to prove to us on the tennis court ever again. She's done it to the fullest and the best of anybody that's ever done it. And like I said, we talk about the great, and we mentioned the top 10 greatest athletes of all times. I think Serena's name might be in that top 10.
She on the list. Come on,
she's got to be on the list of that top 10. Yeah. If you name all sports top 10 people, I think Serena's on that list of one of the top 10. So for us, I think the pleasure that we need to acknowledge is that we got a chance to witness. We witnessed her from a team to greatness. We witnessed her from people were calling them little nappy-headed little girls playing tennis, and they didn't want anything to do with them. When they broke the barrier in playing tennis, to them dominating the sport, and now she's the fashion trend in tennis. It's crazy how 20 years later how that happens, right?
Yeah.
She's
think about that. So think about that. 20 years later. Yeah. So when they started, and here's the visual, they had beads in their hair, right? Her and Venus. When Serena hit the court this last round at the U.S. Open, she had diamonds in her hair.
Yes.
So that's definitely a little elevation but in terms of.
I think we need to take a step back, because me and you, James, are both old enough to remember when they criticized them for their look.
Yeah.
They were too black. They weren't attractive. Mm-hmm. Some people were going to say they look like monkeys. Mm-hmm. All these harsh criticisms.
That was all out there. You're right.
People said about them. And
then when Serena started really training her body more, right, and they were saying that she was looking too masculine, too big
manly,
for out there.
Too muscular.
So,
she's all this. They talked about Venus with they did everything to tear her and her sister down. Did wrong. And they both prevailed over it. Which, like I said, they went from being, what people deemed as unattractive to being sex symbols.
Well, you think about it though, that all started. That was all. I'll use something that we say in the community. That was some good home training.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That started with mom and dad at home. Just that tenacity, that strength, and that fortitude to know that they were better than anything that other folks were saying. That was that good home training that was brought up into them before they picked up the racket.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give it to the neighborhood. I think the city of Compton has turned out some resilient people.
Yeah, man, shouts out to Compton. They came from, come on now, it's not just NWA and Cube coming out of Compton. We got Kendrick Lamar, and we got Serena Williams and Venus Williams.
Yeah. Well, where we know in Compton, we know the culture in Compton because we're from California.
Yeah.
I think people outside of California don't really understand the culture there, which is really, it's a tough environment to grow up in.
Right.
And it's immensely tough for two athletes that didn't play a primary sport. Usually you play basketball or something like that, especially if you're a woman, you play basketball and track, right? In that environment, those are the two primary ones. They play tennis.
That's a good point when you talk about track. Exactly. That particular they were, right? Because again, that's the unfortunate stereotype. Oh, black folks or what, when you're coming from the inner city, you're going to play football if you're a dude, or you're going to run track, or you're going to do basketball. You're not going to play soccer. You're not going to play golf. You're not going to do tennis. You're not going to do something like that. Why? I don't know why. But again, that's unfortunate. It's stereotype that's built into society that way. Glad that they were able to break that mold.
We know why. We have lack of resources in those environments. People don't invest in those communities. So I know why we don't prevail in those, because we don't have those opportunities, because there's no money invested in those. Their father found a way to create an environment for them to be able to practice and train in and do the things he did in. That speaks to, I think, Serena's character in the end, and her speech in the end. Like, I still want to do it. She thanked everybody. She talked about her, a little bit of her history, what she went through, and what she's appreciative of.
Yeah.
And most important, she talked about her daughter. And I think that's the most
Yeah.
humbling thing. She remembered where she came from to where her daughter is now. Like, I have a daughter and I can provide everything in the world financially. I can provide all this knowledge. We traveled around the world. Those things I think she appreciates more so than anyone can ever imagine because of the beginning. And hers is different than Tiger. Tiger's family comes from a little bit more of affluent. Dad, I
True.
think, would
Yeah.
believe
Yeah.
in military.
Yeah.
They traveled a little bit. Tiger was a little bit more rounded Stanford guy. Serena Williams and Venus, they didn't go to college and do all that stuff. They straight to the pros and grinded themselves all the way to the top. So
Yeah. I
I
love
really,
it.
I'm appreciative of both of them. I like, obviously Serena's, when Venus was hot, we're a big fan of Venus. Venus kind of died down. She would start her family and do her thing. Now it's Serena's turn, and now I think both those sisters have they're part of the Mount Rushmore when it comes to female tennis. Big time.
Now, the Mount Rushmore of female tennis is got a little tan to it. Let me just start with that, okay? Because shouts out to Coco Gauff. Coco was out there doing her thing today. She didn't make it, but she was out there doing the best that she could, and she didn't advance, but she's out there. What is she? 17 years old, 18 years old, young thing out there, just killing them, dominating. Before long, it's gonna be her year, and she's gonna get that championship. She's gonna get whatever, that trophy, that plaque. But listen, Coco Gauff is out there, next one to watch. Now, Mount Rushmore of tennis. Okay, we're gonna stay with tennis. We talked about women. We got somebody else that's out here just doing some things. And again, we got a little tan going on with a lot of these folks is doing things. Listen, Frances Tiafoe. Man, I want to make sure I'm getting his name right.
Tiafoe.
Man, that's a great name too. This is the man right here, ladies and gentlemen, who just beat Rafael Nadal. So everybody knows who Rafael Nadal is, but y'all don't know who Frances Tiafoe is. But you need to know him now. He is advancing on. He is from Maryland. So shouts out to the East Coast. But this young man, I believe he's 26, 25 years old or something of that nature. He is a student of the game. He came out on the court wearing Serena's hoodie with the goat on it, right? So he knows the lineage. He's got the respect for the game and folks that are out there doing it as well. And he is really the next person, I think, to watch. And I think you agree with me as well. He is probably the next person to watch from a superstar in tennis. If you can beat Rafael Nadal, that means you got some skills. You got some skills.
You've done something. I hope it's sustainable what he's doing.
Yeah.
But I appreciate, like I said, the one thing, him wearing that sweatshirt, him coming out there showed the influence of Serena.
Yeah.
On tennis. And let's be honest with you. I've been to Maryland before. Maryland is just like Compton in some ways. Very tough and gritty area.
My godparents lived in Maryland, so yeah.
So this brother being able to come out of that environment, doing his thing, getting his game together, making it come together at the right time. Everything's about timing as well.
True.
Make it come together at the right time. I think he has the potential to be the next biggest thing in tennis. I really do. Just like you said, he's got to, you got to have that sustainability in tennis, though. You just can't win one game and then say, "Hey, I'm arrived." It's got to, he's got to beat a couple of guys and then eventually get to that title game and win it. But I do believe he can be the next fresh face of tennis.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, again, when you're starting to knock down big name brands, the Nadals of the world, and you see the side posting right here, Nadal doesn't know what he's going to do after that. Rafael shook, right? He didn't mess around and got beat by this person who was not on his radar. He was not watching film on Frances Tiafoe and came up short against him. So I think that's a good, because competitive sports all about mental as well, right? If you can get into the head of your component, and this man right here is about to advance. Let's see who he's playing next, because and I believe he plays tomorrow. Let me see.
Yeah, I think he plays tomorrow as well. Yep.
9/9. Okay, so on the 9th they play at 12 p.m. That's 12 a.m. What? Why they play so early? That can't be right. Are they
It's got
really
to be in the
playing?
afternoon. He
Yeah,
might play in the afternoon.
they can't be playing at midnight. Good Lord. Oh well. All right. So he's playing. What is that? Is that France right there? I don't know my geography. Hopefully that's France there. Don't yell at me, folks, for not
Well,
knowing my
we know he's
flag.
playing against the number 9 person in the world, and you know, like I said, if the brother can get
Oh
that
man, that's
victory,
Russia. I was all off. Good Lord. See.
you know, if he can get the victory against Andre, I don't know how to pronounce his name,
Say his name. Come
Rublev.
on now. Say my
Ru-
name.
I don't know his name. I ain't gonna even try it because I hash names all the time. But I mean, if he can get this victory and like I said, advance to the semi or the semifinals, man, I think the brother has arrived at this point. He has
Yeah.
arrived. He'll be arriving as a force to reckon with. And like I said, if he can maintain that consistency, I think nothing but sky's the limit for that young man at all.
Yeah. Okay. My bad. They play tomorrow. Yeah, the 7th at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time is when their match is, and then we're hoping that Francis advances to the semifinals so he can knock some of these other dudes down because I don't see any more competition. Right? You got a 3 seed, 11, 5, 13, 23, and 27. Look, Francis is a
Well, you
22
know,
seed. He fits right in the mix there. So I think
yeah,
he can hold his own.
like you said, part of his mental. Hopefully, he doesn't have a letdown. Hopefully, he's riding a high that he can beat anybody. And he's really confident. But as you know, especially in something like tennis, consistency, right? It's got to be
Hmm.
consistently, and being very strong and athletic. I think as long as he can do those things, man, sky's the limit for this young man. And I truly
Yeah.
believe he's the next one. He's the next one up. He's
Yeah.
definitely the next one up.
Yeah. So you gonna go out there and get you a tennis racket? You gonna go out there and hit the courts? Work
I
on
don't
work
know.
on your
You know,
cardio.
I'm a little too old, but I wouldn't mind my grandson, somebody like that, going there and testing a little bit, getting down on the course.
Yeah.
I definitely would enjoy it.
You know, work on that cardio a little bit and get some of that work in. Get some of that work in. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
but
be
my
checking it
ankles
out.
can't handle it no more.
That's true. Listen, that's true. That's grown folks right there. You know,
Yeah,
tennis is for the young folks, but that's all good. That's gonna be a good match. Hopefully, he progresses. Hopefully, he keeps making positive noise. But
yeah,
I do like the fact that he gave homage to Serena and kind of where he came from. It was good that his
yep,
parents were in the in the arena in the Arthur
yep,
Ashe arena. I mentioned Arthur Ashe
yeah,
as a cousin of mine, so I have to mention that name. It was always good that his parents were there to see him rise to this level. So we wishing him nothing but the best moving forward. Um, all right, we want to get to a bad story or one of the 10% of the not so great stories.
Let's get
Uh,
to the 10% not so great story before we finish up with a strong one.
all right. Football. Why is it always football too, where there's an issue that's going on?
Man, I don't know what it is, brother.
It,
It's the DNA of the football players. Who knows?
Something, man. Too many hits. I don't know, but and it's not even someone who's getting hit. Let's talking about coach, talking about analysts, talking about someone who used to be the highest paid analyst on ESPN. Man, don't work for ESPN no more. He don't have a job right now, but
Brother King.
he want to come back to work. Who we talking about? We talking about John Gruden. Okay. John Gruden, as y'all know, said a lot of things. He not only did he say a lot of things, he actually wrote it down in email, so there's proof that, and it's coming from his email address that he talked about everybody who didn't look like him, everyone who didn't think like him, even probably folks that were like him and all that. He just had a lot of madness to say, and he said that while he was coaching the Raiders. He said that while he was an analyst with ESPN. And, all those emails came out. He ended up having to resign his position because, again, he didn't want all that smoke around you. And it just was not a good look for any of the organizations. And listen, we got to part ways. That's what the Davis family, and so they parted ways. He's not getting them checks right now. And John Gruden says, man, I'm sorry. I wish I hadn't have said what I said, but I said what I said. I'm still a good person. And then he says, I'm ashamed about what has come about in these emails. And I'll make no excuses for it. It's shameful. But I'm a good person. I believe that. I go to church. I've been married for 31 years and have 3 great boys. I still love football. I've made some mistakes, but I don't think anybody in here hasn't. and I just ask for forgiveness and hopefully get another shot. This man put the Lord's name in there and said, I go to church, so can I get my job back? See, he just mad again because them checks not flowing through. Talk to me, man. Jon Gruden, this man right here he should be washed up, but slowly take us through what your thoughts are.
He's a dude that got busted. And then since he got busted, now he wants another chance. And unfortunately, no, that's not that it shouldn't happen. The NFL should be like no. College should be like no. I think I watched the interview with Keyshawn Johnson. He said Jon Gruden was a bad person.
Yeah.
He was a bad person. On borderline, he thought he might even been racist. And I hope I'm quoting it right. It was an interview with a lot of players. I thought it was Keyshawn Johnson that said that.
Yeah, I think it was Keyshawn. Yeah.
It was Keyshawn Johnson that said
yeah.
So for someone that he coached for 2 or 3 years felt that way about his head coach. And then several years later, this comes out. And then other people said, you know what? There was things that said he did do that. Come on, man. I mean, unfortunately, in this cancel culture, there is no more second chances. You don't get those chances. And I think for him in the position he was in, he should have known better.
Yes.
So I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for somebody that made millions and millions and millions of dollars off of coaching the sport he supposedly loves and doing all things. But you got caught doing something wrong. Unfortunately, that's on you. That's what you did. So you got to live with the consequences. But the sad part about it is I think he's gonna get another chance somewhere.
That's the problem, right? That's the weird catch-22 that again he's just wrong. He knows he's wrong. He shouldn't have said what he said. He shouldn't have written it down in emails as well and share that with other folks because of course it's gonna come back and bite him. But listen, everyone, this is a free country. You can say and feel how you want. Just realize that there are consequences for it. Look at it. Oh, there go Jon Gruden calling you right there, right now. I as well agree that someone is going to pick him up just because this society that we live in is unfortunately too forgiving to a lot of things. And
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, James. What's going to happen is somebody's going to pick him up as an analyst, right? It's going to be under the water. No one's going to know. Some team's going to hire him as an analyst. And then some team's going to hire him someone as a guy that's kind of in the background, maybe even doing recruiting and something working in the background as a consultant, right? That's how they slowly bring you back in when you make these mistakes. You're working as a consultant or you're working as this. And then that's where his next chance is going to be. I don't know what.
But think about it, though. Gruden was making all that money. Again, as I started out, he was the highest paid analyst with ESPN. Is he going to come back and just be the timekeeper or be the guy that's walking around with the clipboard?
I don't even think it'll be that extreme. I think it'll be a guy that's in the background being a consultant, as they say. Basically telling some guy, hey, this is what you're supposed to do or something do like that. Wow. It won't be as a great glamorous pay as it paid, but it gets him back in the thing that says, hey, you know what, I've been working as a consultant. I've been doing this. I've been right. I haven't had any incidents to kind of slowly but surely work himself back in to the football world. That's the way I think it's going to play itself out. I don't think no one in their right mind is going to hire him outright, based on all the comments and stuff that came. But we know the NFL is a good old boys club. It's a good old boys club, and they take care of each other.
So he's got more opportunity of getting back at the league level as opposed to an individual team level. You think?
I think he'll work with a team to get in. I think he won't work at the league level. League doesn't care about an analyst or anything. I think as a team will try to work himself back in because, like I was saying before, it's a good old boys club. And even though he offended a lot of people, unfortunately, there's some people that agree with his opinions because he was emailing other people that agree with it.
True.
So, and those people still have jobs in the NFL. So I think someone's going to bring him in at some point and say, hey, he wasn't he's not really a bad person. It was a mistake, blah, blah, blah. The whole spiel, and they'll bring him on and he'll do that job for 1 or 2 years, and then he'll get advanced to another job in 2 or 3 years, and then he'll be back in the running for a head coaching job.
Man, that's unbelievable.
That's the way it works. I mean, we've seen it done over and over again.
In our professions in the private sector, if we was to talk some madness like that, and especially in the enterprise technology field and in any place, again, the circles are so small, right?
Yep.
You mess around, you burn one bridge, and all of them start falling down. You trying to get trying to get a job at Google or HP or Dell or wherever, and you burn one of them bridges, man, it's gonna be tough to get in the door again. You better go find you a job at a coffee shop because your
Yep.
days could be done. I don't know, but I agree with you. I think he is
Yeah.
sooner than later going to be back somewhere with a headset on, representing the team, either maybe not at the NFL level.
I think it will be the NFL level. I think it's going to be the NFL level, and unless he decides to take one of these XFL jobs or something like that, and they let him in somewhere like that.
We've
but
seen
I don't
some
think
head
any
coaches
of
go
them
there.
want to take the PR hit. They don't want to take the PR hit this early because the business is so new. So I think it will be in the NFL level. I just think he's going to be at a lower level job as being an analyst or being a consultant, something to some BS title they're going to give him. And once they give him that title, he's back in. He's back on the payroll. He's back doing his thing.
Yeah, because everyone in the press is going to be looking for Gruden, right? And so he's going to have microphones in front of him. Hey, coach or ex-coach, talk to us about what you think. How does the team look? And as soon as he gets those lights and camera, he'll be back to action. So
they'll be back to action. And it'll be a year from now because the womb is still open. But I mean, give it a year or two. It's going to open back up, and he'll be fine because he was. I mean, he's presumed as a great football mind. That's going to trump a lot of things. I mean, we talked about Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer's going to get another chance somewhere. All these guys that do bad things and coaches are going to get another chance.
That's true.
So his will just happen to be he sent some unfavorable emails with talking about LGBT, homosexuality, and racist comments.
Yeah,
they're going to bypass that to give him another opportunity. I feel that way. Think about it. You can cancel Kaepernick for doing something that was right, standing up, making a stand for police brutality. But yet you're gonna. I promise you, they're gonna give this guy another chance after making these kind of comments.
Man,
come on, man. The NFL lets guys that do not sodomize women, but that sexually assault women and all kinds of stuff. And they let them back in. They let them back in the league. As long as you got something value to add to make a team win,
the onus should be on somewhere, and the onus I think should be some of that should be on us, the consumer, as well. And I've said this before, and we've said this before. A lot of fans have said this before. I'm no longer watching the NFL. Right, we've said that because of just some controversy that's come out there, and I think it was the last time I said it was the Kaepernick issue, but the voice of the paying consumer, I think, needs to be louder if anything is going to change. Else it's going to remain just like you keep saying, the good old boy network and those 32 teams, those 32 owners sitting in those rooms. Somebody's going to give them a couple of $1 million to put them on probation, be right, don't cause any more trouble. Next year, we'll throw you a couple of more $1 million to just get out here and talk football. So it's unfortunate, again, when you just look at the disparity of other folks that are out here in the real world that are doing real jobs, who are struggling and trying to walk the line and not say nothing crazy like he said in emails and voicemails and things like that. I don't know. It's just hard to fathom.
We got to think about this, James. Think about this. Why is this a headline story on ESPN or Fox Sports?
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't want I'm quite sure someone said we don't want to shed too much negative light on this. This is a back page story that no one would really pay attention to.
Right.
We're paying attention to it because we like to dig the dirt.
We dig into it, but we pull the Band-Aid off.
but they're like, nah, because he might have a chance to come back as an analyst. He might. You don't want to put that things in the forefront. Let's be honest with you. NFL also has a stake in the media as well. Because if NFL want to say, you guys, and we really want to piss you guys off or not have a stake, you have no access to our athletes. Yeah. We'll make that up. We'll make that a mandate that you have no access to our athletes. Then where would that leave ESPN and Fox Sports? So they can control the narrative to a certain degree. Hey, you can report the story, but it better not be front line page. It better not be headline news. There needs to be somewhere in the back where really nobody's going to. It needs to be that 10th leak on the bottom where no one's going to get to.
Man.
Right? So I believe professional sports controls a lot of the narrative as well. And I think this is one of the narratives that they'll control, not to be out there in the forefront. But we'll talk about it. No, Gruden to deserve an opportunity. Yes, he's an asshole for doing those things. Yes, I do believe he still feels those way about people. You may be a good person, you may have changed a little, but that's only because you got caught, not because you wanted to become a good person or because you wanted to be. And he will be in the NFL, back in the league again, or he'll be working some type of professional football again sometime soon.
Yeah, I think it's funny, just that line in his statement. I go to church. Well, okay,
Yeah.
brother, that's good. A lot of folks go to church. Ain't go well. Okay, it's not gonna be that kind of show. We not
but I'm saying you want to bring
show
God
up in the
into the
building.
mix and say you change. No, change. What about the 100? I forgot what the conference stated. I think over 200 emails of all these slurs. So, which email did you change on?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Which one did you change? You say y'all sending dirty, nasty pics of cheerleaders and all this stuff via email.
Laughing
now,
about
if you're
it.
free behind closet doors, that's your own business. I don't care. You do it on your phone at home and nobody know about it. That's your own business. But to be doing that and degrading these young ladies that's trying to, earn some extra money and doing all these things and talking about people got big lips and all these other things you said in your emails that's been noted. Come on, man. When did you change? You changed only because you got caught. Because if you was a good person, you would have stopped after email number 10, right?
Yeah,
or number 1 or number 3. It's I only said it, we was just joking in conversation and I made a mistake by saying it. That's that kind of thing. When you said over 200 times, or you said maybe these kind of Iraqi over 200 times, brother, you only made changes because you got caught.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you go from one location, you go from Oakland to Vegas, and then you go to Massachusetts, changing jobs, and you still talking this madness at all these different locations. You haven't been.
You ain't changed,
you ain't right.
I mean,
you ain't right.
You got caught. You got caught. You had a year to reflect. Now you got to say whatever you want to say in your interview. Say, and I believe you. I believe. Don't get me wrong. I know everybody can change. I really do. I think everybody has a chance to change.
Yeah.
But I believe, a leopard don't change his spots very much, and I think he's an old leopard. Old leopard can't change his spots that way. I think he still feels those way. I think the only thing the difference with now, he'd be more careful with what he says.
True.
He won't document.
I agree. I don't think that. I won't say the money is drying up, because again, he made so much. But I don't think the money's drying up. I mean, he and his family and his kids are going to be well taken care of already. But I think, again, just the fact, and just that conscious fact that, I don't have no more checks coming in though. And I think that aspect is also on
not only the facts, not only the paychecks. I think I don't have any more contribution in football ever. Yeah, remember, he's been doing this for over 30 years, 25, 30 years.
Yep.
I'm no longer a part of the game in any facet. As we know how retirees get, retirees don't like to retire because they've been doing things for so long and been so successful in it. They have a hard time retiring. I'm like he's in the same boat. He's having a hard time dealing with the fact I'm away from the game. I'm not an analyst. I'm not a coach. I'm not involved in any kind of way.
And I don't have the Gruden passing, the film sessions, because those. Listen, I used to watch it too, where he's break down film with all the new quarterbacks. I mean, you're right. He's got the mind and everything. So we'll see. We've been on this story. We've given it longer than any other medium has, but unfortunately, I agree with you. I think he's going to be back. And just be careful, John. If you're listening, if you're going to listen, I'm going to send you a snippet of this, John Gruden. Just be careful, because all eyes are on you, brother.
Man, they all on. Don't email nobody.
Don't email. Just sit down. Go somewhere and just sit down. Okay. Yeah. I'll leave it alone.
If you're gonna do anything, have a conversation. Don't email it. Word of mouth. Don't email it, brother. You can't document you.
Think two times before you press send on that email.
Absolutely.
Okay. Here's a bittersweet story that we won't get into, and it's bittersweet. We talked about it last week about the situation going on in Jackson, in the Mississippi area. State of emergency from a state perspective, state of emergency from a federal perspective. So the governor and the president have said, this water crisis is no joke. This is real. Right, people don't have any running water. This is different than Flint too, right? Yes. So this is just the fact that there's no running water. They've had flooding, so natural disasters, and then that pump broke in the middle of all the flooding. So, they got to boil water. No one has capability of cleaning themselves, of taking care of basic necessities. We talked about this last week, and Deion Sanders being out there with Jackson State, prepping for a game What are they going to do? Even though that game was in Florida and had to prepare for that. Deion was like, "Listen, I got to take care of home too. I got to take care of the community. We
Yeah.
gotta rally these resources and we got to get something for the people around." And I made the statement that this could be an unfortunate but opportune incident for Deion Sanders to rise above anything else that's happening in HBCU football. I'm gonna
Yep.
put that marker on it right there, HBCU football. And not only did they, first of all, not only did they win the game, not only did they go to Florida A&M and beat them boys, something like, what was the score?
59-3, I believe.
59 to 3 on their home field. That's, first of all, that's just embarrassing. Deion Sanders
Yep.
and them Florida State, but they not playing. Look, when they get out there and hit the field, his son, I think, threw 5 touchdowns. The game was over at halftime, was what I was seeing. So not only did they show out in terms of their mindset and their ability to play the game, their ability to win, their ability to dominate, but they took care of the folks back home. This has turned into an opportunity for Deion to reach out to the folks that he knows and say, help us to help them so we can help each other. And talk to me about your thoughts about, again, the impact that someone only like a Deion Sanders can have when it comes to issues like this, right?
I think Deion Sanders is right now the best thing in college football by far. He's a guy that's been bringing awareness. He's an advocate of everything that's right, and he's been an advocate fighter against everything that's wrong with the NCAA. Now, as far as a community person, I think he's just embraced the Jackson community like no other, and pretty much taken them under the wing. And he's saying, "I'm going to make this program a prestigious program. And matter of fact, not only this, but I'm going to make HBCUs prestigious programs as well. I'm tired of us being in the second fiddle to all these big time programs." And he's doing that. Him being a community activist, I mean, just like I said, his call to help out the Jackson community is heavy. It's big, and I think that he's doing everything right in college football, especially under their rules, and they can't understand why. How is he able to get top players that are supposed to be going to the Alabamas and have to come to Jackson State?
How come all these top draft picks are picking up the hat for Jackson State instead of somewhere else? Wow.
Yeah, right? To come to Jackson State. How is a small program, this insignificant program that was there in small Jackson that don't have the facilities, it doesn't have all this, how is he able to do that? I think people don't realize Deion has increased that. He's increased the school enrollment, which is where the money comes from the school. I think school enrollment has increased something, I believe, like 35% each time over the last couple of years. That's huge in any school. If any school tells you they get 35% more student bodies, they're going to go ecstatic. He's brought that with that football vibe. Now the fact that the football teams are winning. Now the football teams they're getting national exposure on TV. And it's all because Deion and Deion's mouth. And normally I'll be like, he's arrogant, he's doing this, but Deion's mouth is working in the right ways. He's not boasting about himself, he's boasting about his program. He's boasting how wonderful these kids are. He's boasting how kids need these opportunities, how these people shut these people out of these opportunities, and how he's giving them a chance, and now they're just shining. And how can you argue with it? And like I said, the fact that he's back in the Jacksonville community, talking about getting them clean water, figuring out a way. I'm crying out to Elon Musk. Elon Musk needs to have the same thing he did to Flint. I wish he would go down to Jackson and fix the pipe and fix clean water the way he did over there. I wish Elon Musk would somehow get involved like he did with Flint. I don't know if the stories reached his radar or not, but I would hope that Deion or somebody would reach out to him and he can be savior of that community just like he did the one in Flint with doing the things he did there. Also with Deion star power. But I mean, Deion Sanders right now, man, I believe is not only of HBCU football, but of college football itself. That dude is the rising voice. It's not Saban. It's not Harbaugh. It's Deion Sanders now.
And imagine that turn of events, right? Because we no one really foreshadowed all that. We just, and I'm gonna say we just as a collective fan base, Monday morning quarterbacks, right? We just thought Deion was gonna come in there, be flashy, bring some attention to the small school, maybe win 1 or 2 games here and there. And when they do win, they're gonna do whatever they. But the social aspects, and again, unfortunately, some of the things that happen, but the social impact that he's having and the stage that he has, he's been able to, like you say, elevate the conversation of top recruits are deciding where they're going to go spend their next 4, 5, 6, however many years, right?
Yep.
They are having conversations about more access to these HBCUs, not just ESPN3, not just ESPN2, but ESPN itself.
ESPN,
So on
I
the
also
main
think
channel.
he's been able to comment on the unfairness, how they treat athletes, how they treat athletes at the Division I level compared to the
Yeah.
Division I AA level where he's at.
Well, he,
Like, why?
this was the screen I had up just before, right? As well, you know, he was talking to the whole teleconference of all of the coaches, talking about the schedule. The schedule is not right. I'm not playing. As in Jackson State, I'm playing all these classic games. I can't.
Yep.
I'm losing 3 home games. I want to play, and my kids want to play at home. They want the advantage of playing in front of their home team and get some of that action. But because of the way that their schedule is laid out, they got to go play in Miami. They got to go play in all these in St. Louis, or wherever the case may be, as opposed to playing at home.
Yep.
So he's very instrumental again in talking about the whole scheduling piece of how this is shaping out for.
Oh yeah.
All of HBCUs.
But I think, you know, in hindsight, to be honest with you, maybe it was a catch-22, right? Because of now the water situation that he has to be away, and they don't have to be at home dealing with that, trying to take care and figure out water for the players. And that's unfortunate, that's the thing that happened. But maybe it's good in hindsight because he has to do that. But I do see his point. Why, in order for me to be on national TV, for me to go somewhere, do I have to go play outside of my home stadium instead of you guys coming here to Jackson and watch us play on national TV at our home stadium and see how we do our things? You know, most of his national televised games are away. They're not at home, like you said. So he has a valid point in calling these things out. And I think he's the voice of right now, Deion's one of the most powerful voices in college football. The only difference between him being more powerful and being the Cincy of football is he's not in a Power 5 team right now. If Deion was doing this at Florida State, a Power 5 team, he could do what he wants. He would be able to command what he wants at this point.
Yeah.
And how things are supposed to be dictated. But since he's still in smaller Jackson State, I think it takes him a little bit more time, a little more difficult to get things, done, or it takes a little bit more time. He has to bring a lot more awareness to it. But I mean, I think he's bringing the good, bad, and the ugly awareness of college football, especially just how the players are treated and why players get some things and why players don't. Why things happen and why things don't. Why is that conference treated different than our conference? You know, all these things along, he's bringing definitely awareness to it. And he's got a voice that news outlets are paying attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just going to be better all the way around for college sports in a whole.
And the fact that he is uninhibited by anything, he's taking advantage of all the platforms that he has, right? He's very active. He and his sons are very active on social media, showing the unfiltered situations that are going on off the field and on the field. So we love seeing that because it's raw and it's uncut, and we know what's really going on. I just wish, you're right. I wish someone like I don't know if it's Elon, but I just wish someone would come in there and just help all these communities that are in distress. But I mean, this is a bad situation when you got this.
I say Elon Musk because he was able to go to Flint and help them fix their water
and again, he's the richest man on the planet right now, so he can spare a couple of $1 million to fix a couple of pumps and do whatever.
Yeah, bring your scientists down there, Elon, to go do what you do and fix that out. And I think you'll have the city of Jackson in your back pocket for the rest of your lives. I mean, open a plant there too, because those people would love to work for Tesla and do the things that need to be done there. I wish someone would step up that has that kind of money to be able to help those people, because they deserve it just like everybody else, man. And no one deserves to have bad water, where it's contaminated, things like that. So I just wish the situation would take care. I wish it would just get resolved. And, I hope Deion has an instrumental voice in getting it resolved. To be honest with you, I really do.
I think he does. And again, it's a game changer. Unfortunately, again, and a showstopper. I'll use all those adjectives when you've got something as common and something as core to survival as running water. When you don't have running water, and you listen, folks start dying when you don't have that. And if there's, I don't know what the weather is like over there. I know Mississippi's probably humid, but listen, it's 120 over here in Northern California right now. If you're dealing with high degrees of temperature as well, and you don't have water, things just start compounding on themselves. Not reading, or not trying to make assumptions or anything, but again, let's take care of our
Yeah,
neighbors in our
we
community.
we we we, we both know it's got to be tough, especially if you got little kids, right?
Yeah,
Little kids,
yeah, man.
or elderly people. They they need water, they need to bathe, and people with illnesses and stuff, they have to have clean water to be able to clean wounds or clean situations they need to be in. I mean, this is bigger than any sport or
Hmm.
anything going on in our. I think in the United States, to be honest with you, and it doesn't get enough press. People don't have clean water. They have contaminated water and it needs to be fixed. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I mean, Jackson, Mississippi is a predominantly, minority state,
True,
black
true.
city, that's there, low on the poverty level, and people aren't the powers that be to me to help are racing to it like it did Flint. Where Flint has
Yeah.
two classes. Flint
I,
has, some rich people, poor people, and medium class. Jackson has that, but very small and very little. It's a very low income state of Mississippi, and it's not that big of a, it's not a big predominant major city. But I still
listen.
wish people would help, man. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
listen,
help.
2022 in these United States of America, by not having running water in your home, that's an issue that needs to be, everyone needs to be standing on
Be
their
fixed
soapbox.
immediately. Yeah, we shouldn't
Everyone
have to
need to,
wait 9, 10 days. We shouldn't
yeah,
have to wait 20 days for an
come on,
engineer to come out there. It should be fixed
come
immediately.
on, yeah.
All hands on deck to fix that out. And it just doesn't seem that pressing issue for Jackson, Mississippi, is there, in my opinion.
Army Corps of Engineers, National Guard. What? Okay, we can get into that too, but then let's just let's have some more attention
I,
to take care of
I'll
this.
say
This
what
is
you ain't. I'll say what you ain't saying. We'll take our ass over to Ukraine to do everything or whatever.
well.
But we can't
Oh,
go
let
over
me
to
let me
Jackson,
let me
Mississippi.
let me drop some music on that one. God, yeah. Oh,
Hey,
awesome.
that's just being all honesty. It's funny, now that you bring that, it kind of strikes a nerve
There it is.
because all these what these Trumpster guy people,
Yeah, yeah.
they'll do everything in their power to do all that stuff. But you say we're America, we say USA, but you won't really help us in our cities, right? You ain't fighting that hard to go down there and help them. You ain't pressing Congress and the government to go help Jackson, Mississippi, but you'll help you. You're pressing them about Trump situations. But yet we're all supposed to be United States. We're all supposed to be under one umbrella. Makes no sense to me. But bigger than that, I wish Biden and the United States and all them would really, like I said, this should be all hands on deck, man. No running water. And like I said, Jackson is a major city in Mississippi. It's a
Hmm.
major city in Mississippi. It should be all hands on decks to help fix that.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have to go 9 days. They shouldn't have to go 2 days without an engineer team down there out there fixing. Much less 9 days. Well, I think we're going on week 2
We're going on 2
on them
weeks,
trying
yeah,
to
because
fix
we
this
talked
thing.
about it last week for sure, and
Yeah,
it had just hit. So, and the fact that it's
yeah.
not resolved. But all right, we're gonna keep track of this, folks, because again, this is something that, again, it's affect from the sports podcast, but it's affecting the social impact of these particular individuals there, and it resonates with this show because someone like Coach Deion Sanders is talking about how it's affecting his team, his team's family. His team's family is the community. So there's that trickle down effect. So we gonna talk about it here because we gonna make sure that somebody stands up and takes some action. So mom's saying she don't understand. I know we just don't understand why it's taking so long to get. Why can't we just get right? So we'll see. We gonna keep pushing buttons and find out what's going
Hey,
on.
let's keep it 100%. If that was Beverly Hills, that shit would have been fixed in an hour.
But there wouldn't have been no problem because they would have
Wouldn't have
had
been
a
no problem.
higher.
The
Yeah.
water maker break contamination is fixed in an hour. But since it's Jackson, I hate to say it, but since it's Jackson, Mississippi, it seems to take weeks and weeks and weeks for them to get down there and fix it. And they can make every excuse they want. Bottom line, it's not a pressing issue, and it should be a pressing issue. Which is, like I said, it's disheartening that we're supposed to be one United States, one for all for one, but yet we're segregated when it comes to the calls of action to do something, especially when it comes to things like this.
Yeah, I'm looking at just current stories of what's going on, and the water in Jackson, Mississippi, was bad even when it worked. in Jackson, Mississippi, a water crisis of unparalleled scale. So, things are coming out, people pointing fingers, and again, hopefully we get some more sleeves rolled up and people actually doing some work to get things accomplished. So, stay tuned.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned. Um,
Elon, you need to purchase up and send
holla
it
at
to
your
Elon.
boy
That's
Elon.
what you
Come
need
on
to do.
now.
I'm
Let's
an Elon fan when it comes to this kind of stuff, bro.
yeah.
Go fix it, bro. Shoot.
Yeah, come on, Elon. What you doing? You're not working on nothing right now. I know you trying to buy Twitter. No, you just
You
sitting
ain't got no
around
space
playing.
trips playing, brother. Go and fix this water crisis. You good. You good.
Hilarious. All right. Back to sports, back to football, back to awareness. And this is a feel good story right here. This is a black man, entrepreneur, came from journalism, is is a mogul. Let me go and say that mogul in the entertainment business, mogul in the media business. Has his arms around everything that is entertainment from a cable perspective, and now this man is talking about bringing those HBCUs to, again, not just ESPN2, ESPN3. No shade to those other ancillary channels, but let's get on ESPN proper. Let's get on Fox Sports Network. Let's get on CBS. Whatever. Let's get on those places. So Byron Allen is actually working to bring HBCU sports to all of the major broadcast streaming platforms. Man, that's a huge. Where have you heard this story?
It, dude.
I was gonna say, where have you heard this before?
I said I thought Dion was gonna be the driving force to do it, like him and some investment partners in the background.
Yeah.
But I called this. Man, I don't even know, a year. It had to be a year.
We got it on tape, bro. Don't trip. We got it on tape.
I knew someone was going to be smart enough to drive an HBCU television network. This just happens to be a streaming platform, which is fine. But this network will televise and stream all HBCU sports coming out to these major cities. Man, it's just a match. It's a match made in heaven. I'm glad Byron Allen is the one that saw it and is doing it. And I know he probably watched the show and got the idea from me. I want my cut.
You know he did.
I want my cut, but man, I'm telling you, I called.
Aren't y'all related? Come on now, Montel Allen, Byron Allen. He's somewhere in the family tree somewhere.
I wish I knew. I wish his brother was somewhere down the pipeline. I would call on him. But unfortunately, I don't think we're related that I know of. But I called this, man.
You did. No, listen. You said someone should definitely make this move. We thought it was going to be someone else, but right now Dion's got some other things going on, and there was probably some back channel conversations because these gentlemen, these winners like this, all run in the same master class. This is the mastermind, so they all talk to each other, and they have the Allen Media Group, who owns the major holding that he has. Let's think about this: is the Weather Channel.
Yes. Yep.
So Byron Allen's got some cash, and he's got some liquidity. So he can go out and make something like this happen and bring HBCUs to, again, these major markets: New York, LA, Philadelphia, Dallas, Atlanta, San Francisco, Boston. You can see it on the screen here. This is nothing but goodness. A lot more folks are going to be able to see the diversity, the culture, and just the vibe. I don't want to just talk about the halftime piece, right? But I just see the flavor of what an HBCU game experience brings. That is just nothing but goodness for whoever hasn't seen it before, but who is now going to be able to experience that.
Well, I think not only you get the chance to view it, I also they get a chance to give witness to the great athletes that are playing at HBCU.
Yeah.
I think now this is going to open the door for more athletes that were supposed to go to those Power 5 or other schools are going to go to HBCUs now that there's a network there for it. Let's be all honest. I know Byron Allen's a great businessman, so I know there's advertisement dollars that's going to be at the yin yang to promote these sports and do all those types of things. I just think it's a win-win-win for all around, for HBCUs, for Byron Allen, for HBCU sports. I think everything will increase. Enrollment will increase. Everything. I mean, can you imagine the kids will hear about North Fork State? They'll hear about Lincoln in Pennsylvania. They'll hear about, all these universities they never heard of, Clark in Atlanta, Spelman, all these schools they'll get to hear about. They'll get to witness them, at least playing from a sports aspect, and hopefully advertisements of the schools themselves to draw people from all over the country to participate and go to school or play sports. I think it's just a win, man. And I called it, man. I wish I had Byron Allen money because I would have started myself. But good kudos, man. I'm glad somebody stepping up to the plate to be able to deliver that because it's well deserving.
Definitely,
It's been long overdue.
Long overdue. Now there's no excuse. It's accessible because it's on HBCUGo.tv. It's on Roku. It's on Amazon Fire. It's on Apple TV. There's a high percentage of households have one of those streaming media platforms. So now all folks got to do is install and download the app and activate it so they can see all of these games. And I'm definitely going to be checking it out. I'm just glad that it's a wide variety of platforms that it's on, and yeah, just can't wait to see how he grows this, because this is really cool again to allow so many different folks to see what it is that we've been talking about, right? When these games happen, and to see them come out there stepping and doing their thing, and then the quality of the game. Right, I'm not just talking about the ancillary, the outside stuff, right? Just the marching band and things like that, which is huge in and of itself. But man, you see these fellas go out there and actually know how to play some real football. So, and I think we owe that to Deion by bringing more to the limelight, and then Byron for bringing it to the masses. So, yeah,
absolutely, I agree with you 100%. I can't argue that at all. I think it's, like I said, a win-win for everybody that's going to be involved. All of the HBCUs. Man, I mean, I'm just happy one of my ideas came to fruition, even though I didn't do it. Damn.
Man, you got the lotto numbers too, because man, you want to roll right now. You got
somebody rocked with it. Yeah, somebody rocked with it, and it came aboard. Somebody had the same idea. I was great minds think alike. Somebody had the same idea, and they were able to bring it to fruition or whatever. Can bring it to life.
You all excited? Listen, you over there, and you traveling, so you got allergies and messing up. You just
I got allergies, but it's all good, bro. Like I said, I'm gonna thug it out. I'm gonna thug it out to the end. I'm gonna thug it out to the end. It ain't gonna stop me.
You need to get back home, man. No,
but man, I'm happy for that story, man. That's a feel good story, man. That's gonna bring a lot of attention. That's always been deserving. Can you imagine if they had this back when my man was at Grambling? When Doug Williams is at Grambling and all those, when all those great coaches were at Grambling. Now can you imagine we get to see Hugh at Grambling? We get to see
that's right.
What's the name of Tennessee State? The former running back at the Titans. Eddie George. Eddie George, the head coach over there.
That's right.
We get to see Deion now. We get to see some of the great basketball coaches that are coaching at HBCUs. I think Rod Strickland's the head coach of one. So we get to see all these people doing these great things that we know at the HBCUs and bring that talent to the forefront. Man, I think that's an amazing thing. And I think it's going to open the eyes to a lot of black youth that want to go to college. They'll get to see if that's an opportunity that they want to explore by watching them on TV. So I think it's going to bring a lot of awareness. I think it's a great thing all the way around.
Yeah, definitely a win-win for everyone that's involved. I'm sure someone will find some bit of negativity, but Byron Allen has been able to navigate all of that pretty successfully, and he just keeps winning. I mean, literally every quarter it seems like I see just a positive story. He's buying some TV station, some channel, some network or whatever, bringing something to consumers. So he knows how to manage all that. So
he's got to buy Team No Sleep next, and then
I'm gonna hit him up tonight. Listen, I'm sending some tweets tonight and say, listen, we talked about you today, brother. So let's see if we can get Byron Allen on the show. Man, that's a good way to end with some positivity. You were talking about maybe something coming up for Straight from the Horse's Mouth. You want to just talk about that right quick? That you might be back in business.
Yeah, absolutely. Straight from the Horse's Mouth. It cuts out the middleman when it comes to recruiting. They go into school for all high school students. Now, instead of coaches, I'm going to start turning my sights to players that are currently playing at the collegiate level, getting a perspective on how things go and how things work, so kids can get another understanding just how it works when they get to that level. The nature of the business of college sports from a player's perspective, I think it's important for now the next grasp for these kids to have. So I'm going to have a slew of college students that are going to be coming on in the next couple of weeks. I just want everybody to be aware of that. So that's coming up real soon.
His brother said he going to have a slew of folks coming on. Okay.
Slew.
All right. Watch out now. I'm going to be in San Diego tomorrow. So, oh no, you're not even in San Diego. So
I'm not even
we
in San Diego, man.
can't even
I'm in the
connect.
Midwest.
Oh
Yeah,
my God, what is going on? All right,
bro. You better be ready because I heard it's hot down in San Diego too, bro. I heard it's super hot down there. So make sure you.
I'm gonna be on a yacht. So I'm gonna be down there on the
Oh, you
water.
gonna be cool? Yeah, you cooling out? Yeah,
I'm
you good?
gonna be flossy like that though. It's like, I'm gonna be hobnobbing with some of my people. So
You need to take a few pictures so you can show the fans next time you
listen,
come on here.
bruh, I'm gonna do what I need to do. They're gonna be a good.
All right.
I'm definitely gonna do it right for the gram. So listen, man, you be good to yourself. Take care. Get back home safely. Do what you need to do over there where you are with your kids and everything. And then
Always.
we'll reconnect when we reconnect. Go ahead and send us home, though, brother.
Yeah, man. First off, shout out to Big Kevin Bracey. Talked to him
Yeah.
this weekend. That's my man. He's the one that connected us together.
Yes, sir.
Always got to give a shout out to him and the great work he's doing. But bottom line, man, I always say, the theme I think this week is keep family close.
Mm.
If you got family, make sure you stick close to family. Show them that you love them, that you care about them, and that you're always in their corner. Nothing can go wrong with that. Just say your prayers and God bless.
There it is. We out, folks. Hey, and doing a little extra shout out to the community is growing. So we got the Discord server. So I'm gonna throw a little ticker on the bottom screen here as well. Y'all be good to yourself, and we'll talk to you soon. We out.